Welcome to the Bond and Newton Show. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal.
And I'm Kay, the quieter host. We have some things to discuss from the worlds of entertainment along the way, we may dip into a little sports, a little current events, and we will certainly discuss a favorite hour album of ours back in the days.
Or the present.
So without further delay, I think we should give a proper introduction of ourselves. My name is Kay. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm just a single black mother trying to adjust to life in America.
You're a little more than that. Keep going.
Oh, a little bit. Okay. So, I work in the medical field and I also do podcasts on the side. It's my side hustle. And I have two children, a son who's 13 and a daughter who will be 21 this year.
Well,
Woohoo! Jamal.
Jamal. So yeah, I'm Jamal. I'm originally from Texas. I ended up moving to the East Coast. Currently living in the New York area, and I am the scared father of an infant, and am working in the IT industry. I am also doing this more so as Kay twisted my wrist and told me I had to do this podcast. Shh. Okay. So, like Kay said in the opening, one of the things this podcast actually is honestly, it's the phone conversation that Kay and I have once or twice a week, and we talk about stuff. So, we are going to try to use this as an opportunity to just try to entertain a little bit. So, that being said, can what's on your mind right now, Kay? Besides happy
Well,
hour.
well, I had to find the perfect spot for us. So anyway, we missed a show, and so we were talking about Rihanna, and she's a LeBron James fan. I don't know if she's a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, but while she was at the game, someone noticed her. One Jeff Van Gundy. What do you think about his remarks?
You're referring to, I think it was game one. Is that right, or was it game two? I think it was game two. In oh, Jeff Van Gundy made the series. That was just the call that LeBron had just gone up and put down this monster dunk, and around the same time, Rihanna appears coming to sit in her courtside seat, and all Jeff Van Gundy can do is just, wow, there's Rihanna. Wow.
Right. Damn the dunk. This is Rihanna. It wasn't creepy like Brent Musburger was in that Alabama game. It
No,
wasn't
no,
anything like
no,
that. You
no.
know.
Jeff Van Gundy was a person in admiration. It was just, his timing was bad, but what he said was what a lot of people thought, and why the camera stayed trained on her. And funny enough that towards the end of the game, I guess it was the beginning of the fourth quarter, Kevin Durant apparently had been hearing it from Rihanna's assistant while he was shooting free throws. She was telling him to miss, 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 or something to that effect, and he heard it. And so this led to this three-pointer during this Golden State run, and he hits it, and then he gives the look over his right shoulder to where Rihanna's sitting, and backpedaling down the court, he's just giving her the eye, like, girl, you know me. You know me. So, my question to you is, what did you think about Kevin Durant trying to act like there was nothing to it? And then the follow-up question is, what about Steph Curry giving him the look like, man, what?
I don't know. Like the fact that he's giving her attention, you know what I'm saying, just brings further attention to the situation instead of him just ignoring her, like I guess they're supposed to do.
Well, from what I was doing a little bit of reading that evening, while this was the 2 second social media moment, it was that apparently Kevin's shown on social media that he has some love for Rihanna. And so, there may be a little something more to it, or kind of one of those, you like him, but why don't you like me? Sort of things. I don't know, but hey, hey, Daddy Slim, Ice Daddy Slim, he did it. He did it. So there was also apparently a moment in which an Apple executive told her to sit down. I really,
Expletive.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mm. We can do better than that, Apple. I have your products. You need to talk to this person. You need to put this person in a timeout or whatever. But it's not that serious, people. It is, at the end of the day, you need the fans from the other team to show up at your arena and to, stir the pot a little bit to make things a little interesting, but you treat them with respect. You do not sit there and do that. Not even in jest do you call somebody out like that. So that's really a poor showing, and it's really unfortunate for Apple to have their name even attached to this sort of behavior. But you don't do
Well,
that.
well, he's not the president, vice president, CEO of the motherboard supply
No,
chain
no,
for Apple.
no.
It's iTunes, like iTunes.
But you got named as somebody who works at a specific
Exactly, but
company.
I'm
So
saying that he does work for that specific company, but he's over the iTunes, like where her music is played. So that's really not smart
yeah, you're right.
at all.
You're absolutely right.
That's
Yeah,
you know.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Yeah. So also, since we missed an episode, um, Birthday Hangover, we didn't get to really discuss the Kardashian curse on one former Longhorn, Tristan Thompson. And I guess he had a fairly decent rest of the series, but that first game, oof, it was horrible. So the question was, is it the Kardashian curse? Because prior to the game, the day before, Khloe Kardashian announced that she was pregnant, and rumors started flying about that, it may be Tristan's. What did you think about the timing of that announcement?
I scratch my head. You know, I just think the desperation is so thick, and to a normal thinking man, I think that that would actually push him away. Fool doesn't know to run for the hills. What are your thoughts?
I think to add to what you said with the, I did a little more digging, I have to admit, and so there was the whole rumored she bought a wedding ring or an engagement ring, and is trying to get him to present it to her, and this, wedding and baby thing is really what she's looking towards. Reportedly, of course, allegedly, but it does again stinks. It smells of a certain type of desperation as far as what's being reported, and so yeah, you just kind of it's cringeworthy, and I'm just glad the series is over, and now I can put Kardashians completely out of my spectrum and not have to hear their names or deal with them until, I don't know, who knows when. Something else will come up, I'm sure. Hopefully Kanye doesn't do anything silly with Kim over the summer. But let's, something else that came up. And I'm not sure how to address this one. And I feel that it was actually addressed awkwardly by one person and then it was dispatched very eloquently by another person. And I would be referring to Bill Maher and his use of the N word, and then the follow up episode last Friday, in which Dr. Eric Dyson was on, and apparently, is it Eric or Michael? I think it's actually Michael. My mistake.
Eric, Michael, I think both of those are his name.
Okay,
Eric, Michael Dyson.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, him.
He was on the show, and my understanding is that they had a very awkward, weird sort of kumbaya moment. And then Ice Cube came on. And Ice Cube was very to the point in what he said to Bill. And that wasn't cool. What he's, in terms of, what Bill had said. And he told him about himself. Did you catch it, and what did you think? If you didn't catch it, what you've read about it?
I didn't hear what Dyson said, but I read kind of what Ice Cube said. Something about it's okay if black people use the word. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, as the black representative of my family and my household, that no, it's not. Don't use the word. Let's not use it, and let's not get upset when if we use it, let's not get upset that others do. You know what I'm saying? As far as Bill Maher, I think he is hilarious. I agree with most of the things that he has to say according to politics. I don't think it's right. I understood where he was coming from with the statement, but I don't think he should have made the statement. So, even though that's my boy, I still have to, be upset about it, because if I don't use it, I don't want him to use it. So what do you think?
I'm going to echo some of what you said. Bill Maher is my boy. I watch him just about every Friday night. I happen to miss the episode that involved him saying that, and I didn't watch last week's episode because honestly I was kind of pissed at him about it. It was really one of those strange weeks, because just before this happened was the whole fiasco with Kathy Griffith, and I'm going to tie the two of them together with this, that you were trying to make a point, but you went too far. So, in the case of Kathy Griffith, very quickly, had Kathy done what she did, holding up the head of Trump, but also in the background had the various pictures of where Obama was pictured as being hung, nobody said a thing. Nobody said a damn thing. They would have actually said that she was a heroine and that she would have got nothing but positive press about it, except from, the conservatives. But it's like, you're showing the double standard really good. But she went too far. She didn't do that. She just tried to make a statement. Bill Maher had an opportunity to just say, maybe even if he was making his point, he could have said House Negro, and he wouldn't have had squat to deal with. But you took it too far. So, to fast forward to the next week, he doesn't get it. He doesn't think that he did anything wrong. I honestly feel that he thinks that he has a pass, and that was something that Ice Cube mentioned, that you don't have a pass. But I think he does, and I think he does not understand the significance or the importance of what was said, what he said. And while I understand, and what I've read is in context that it's a joke, for somebody else to make that joke who is of color, okay, and it makes sense because it fits, because that's where the term comes from. He's talking about someone who stays in, a house Negro. But no, Bill, that's not good. It's not working. Right. So I'm not sure when I'm going to watch the show again. I'm still pissed. My thought was HBO suspend him for about 2 or 3 weeks. Hold up. Just let the man sit for a moment and just give him a chance to reflect. you know, a couple of weeks and either have someone like Jon Stewart come in and do a show for a couple of weeks and then have him just come back after the 4th of July, something to that effect. But I felt that he needed like a minute off, you know, just to reflect. That was my take on it.
Okay.
So one of the things that you have going on is we're getting close to fall and the new shows that are coming up and that they're dotting the fall lineup, and we're going to have to start dealing with the commercials of coming this fall, such and such, and you're looking at it and saying, oh, actually that looks kind of interesting. That looks interesting. Brand new shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. Why is it, I understand that you're not a big fan of first season watching of shows.
I don't, only because I've been led astray with them. You know, it's all good. Everyone's talking about it, but the network decided to go in a new direction. What is that? Isn't the direction to have more people watching and talking about your show on social media? I think the great idea has been lost, Jamal, and that's why I wait. I wait until it's either on Netflix or Hulu, and then I'll watch 2 or 3 seasons or something, just because I don't want to be let down.
What show, off the top of your head, what show let you down recently?
Well, it wasn't recent, but this started with Daybreak. With
Taye Diggs,
our boy Taye Diggs.
Yep.
And it was a fast moving, really fun to watch show, and they just let it go mid season, and then decided to put the episodes on the internet. And then there was Mob Doctor, okay, on Fox. Okay, this was a great show. It was a little different because you wouldn't think that a doctor would be bribed by the mob to, do certain things, but this is the case. So it was interesting and different, unoriginal, somehow original idea. It got canceled, and so at that point I'm just like, I'm out. I don't even want to help I don't want to help you. I don't want to talk about this show. I'll just wait. Oh, what do you think?
I'm going to continue to get my heart broken. If I find something, I will give something, I wait to see what the hoopla is and what is going on, or if it's something that I really, really am interested. The show that was on Fox this spring that Sanaa Lathan co-starred in, I'm waiting to see what happens with it before I give it my time. But otherwise, if I find out something's coming out this fall that is, really of interest, I can't say no. I just can't. So I came in late to the Fox series Firefly after it had been canceled after one season, and watched it, and all I could do was ask, how did this get canceled? Why did this get canceled? It was a well-written series. And the recent one that I have is a show called Forever, which was on ABC, that was about a medical examiner who died and would come back and keep coming back and keep coming back to life. He died all sorts of ways over the course of 200 years, but he kept coming back, and he would use his death as a means of being able to help solve crimes for the New York Police Department. Now, hokey as it may sound, it was well written, it was well acted, and yet it's sitting here on the CW Encore channel, languishing with its one season because they're not going to do another. And it's just kind of like, it hurts my soul. So that was one of those things that it just came to me, and I thought I need to talk to you about that. It just bothers me, the whole one season wonder thing.
Yeah.
So when was the last wrong turn that was actually a right turn for you?
What do you mean?
Let's say let's say that let's say that you had an interview and you had everything laid out and you wanted to take that you wanted to wear and so forth, and something spilt on said outfit, and you're like, oh gosh, okay, I got to get a different outfit, and so you go with something else, something that you didn't have planned, or someone else says, hey, why don't you do this instead of what you had planned on doing? When was the last one of those that turned out to be better than what you had in mind?
I don't know. You have to come back to me on that. I think I'm just so simple in my thinking, and I kind of just go with my own thoughts. I don't know if anybody can really talk me into anything. I just don't. Yeah, no. I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you might have something, but okay. So I would probably say for me, it was the idea that I was going to live in Texas, or at least the southern part of the United States, all my life, and that my co-host helped put a bug in my ear about the idea of living in New York, and that I would probably enjoy living in New York. And the first thing and the only things that I could say was, it's cold, it's too cold, don't want to do this, it's cold. But that it turned out to be a really good decision that went contrary to my wanting to live in, a certain area. So that was one of those times, and it was you who did it. So yeah, that.
You're
I
welcome.
want to make sure that's on tape, that it's your fault that I love this area so much. So I want to go ahead because we're bordering on happy hour time. So you recently did me a solid, and apparently you actually liked it. You watched the Amazon show Bosch.
Yes. Great show.
Tell me about it.
I love the actors, the cast. I think it was a really good selections that they made. It was slow. It didn't move too fast, and it was thorough, and I really appreciate that. Everything that happened, I figured it could be realistic. It wasn't nothing 3 bombs setting off in 2 days. Nothing like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I really appreciate that. It reminded me of some of the old school shows that we watched. So I like it. What do you think about Bosch?
I read, listened to like the first 4 books, and after watching the first season of Bosch, and I thought that I shouldn't say I thought, I was very surprised at how well they kept to the actual narrative of the book. Now, what they would do with each season is they take 2, possibly parts of 3 books and mesh it into one season, but that it kind of, I hate to use this as an example, but it reminded me of the methodicalness of The Wire in terms of when the police were trying to infiltrate, and find out some more information. So just in terms of how it went about its business and being methodical and meshing various stories into one, I thought it was great. I don't think it gets enough attention, and that I hope going forward. There's another season that's on the way, thankfully, but that was good TV. That was good TV. I need more of that.
Right, I agree.
So, what do you have coming up?
I don't have nothing coming up. There's nothing going on.
Come on.
My life is just,
Come on. Come
just
on.
day for day.
Come on.
I put my vacation plans on hold. I'm just trying to save up some bucks, trying to try to be responsible and take care of my responsibilities, Jamal. Nothing going for me. What about you? You're Mr. Excitement. What you got going on?
Just trip to New York City, man. That's all I got going on. Just going to probably be staying in Brooklyn and hanging out over the 4th of July weekend. Uh, Looking forward to seeing some folks and to doing some touring around, pushing the kids, showing them, I was hanging out here in these spots and so forth, getting him hooked on some of this food up here, and just in general having a good time. I'm looking forward also to the prices coming down on some of these tickets. Trying to fly from Toronto and Buffalo and other places back to
And
Dallas
fly to
Fort Worth
Texas. Yeah,
and
yeah.
melt as soon as you get off the jet bridge. Like, can't y'all have some air conditioned jet bridges?
No.
Come on now. Help a person out. They don't need to be that shock only needs to happen when you walk out of the airport and into.
Your Uber.
Yes, that's when that shock first needs to happen. It doesn't need to happen when you're getting off the plane and then it's just melt. I mean, it's just not right. But yeah, that's what I got going on, and looking forward to coming back to DFW for a minute and to showing the kid around there as well, and to finally doing the show for once in the same location with you.
Right. Oh my goodness. Will we get anything done? Mm-mm-mm.
Probably not. Actually, we may do 3 shows. But so wait, are so the the summer trips to the Northeast are out, you think?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the whole family to Vegas for my daughter's 21st birthday. So that's gonna be our family trip.
Okay.
Vegas.
Okay. Vegas.
And DC for the Redskins game in October.
For what game?
The Redskins Cowboys.
For the Cowboys
October
game.
29th.
Right, the Cowboys game. Right.
Yeah.
It don't matter who we playing. It don't matter who we playing.
It don't matter where we play.
It don't play as long as it's the
If at their
Cowboys.
home, it's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys game,
your name.
exactly. There you go. We good. We're good. So, all I can say to you is and this is going back, the Memorial Day trip it was all right. I learned a lesson that New Rochelle is an area that is for a different sort of person than myself, I feel.
How so, Jamal?
It is a little bit more relaxed, a little more laid back, and more so than my apparently 11 to midnight sort of needing to eat meals and, have more options than McDonald's can take. So, that being said, let's wrap this up, B. It's time to drink. You got anything?
No, I'm gonna go drink.
Yo, B, we got to wrap it up, B. All right, wrap it up. Kay, thank you very much. Have a good Friday.
Thank you.
All right, then. Well, we'll talk later. All right.